Hello, and welcome to this new episode on the post-holiday nervous system. Why slowing down feels challenging after the holidays. The period after the holidays is a strange kind of in-between space. On the surface, life looks like it's returning to normal. Work resumes, schedules fill up, emails pile up. There's a quiet pressure to get back on track. But underneath that, many of us feel anything but normal. The nervous system often comes out of the holiday period overstimulated, emotionally loaded, and deeply tired, even if we technically had a time off. And especially if we spend that time with family, navigating old dynamics, unspoken expectations, or roles we thought we have already outgrown. You can be deeply self-aware and still get triggered. You can have tools and still feel overwhelmed. That doesn't mean that you're going backwards. It means that your nervous system is responding to context. And then, almost immediately, we are expected to return everyday life to work, responsibilities, or holding space for others. No integration, no pause, just forward motion. This is usually the moment when slowing down feels the hardest. Not because we don't need it, but because our nervous system doesn't quite know how to deal with stillness anymore. Many people assume that stillness should feel calming, that if you lie down, slow your breath, or take a yin yoga class, your body will immediately relax. But that is not how the nervous system works, especially one that has learned to stay alert, productive, or emotionally guarded for a long time. For a dysregulated or overworked nervous system, stillness can feel threatening. When we stop moving, distracting, achieving, or caretaking, the body finally has space to speak. Sensations surface, emotions arise, restlessness might appear. This can look like sometimes anxiety, sometimes irritation, sometimes a deep sense of unease that you cannot quite explain. Stillness removes the coping strategies we have been using to stay functional. And after the holidays, with their emotional intensity, social demands, disrupted routines, and often unspoken stress, that discomfort can be even more intense. This is where many people disconnect from themselves because slowing down feels unrealistic. You may want to rest, but your life doesn't stop. You may crave space, but your calendar is full. You may feel exhausted, but there is no obvious place to land and rest. So instead of slowing down, we push through, we override, we self-regulate through productivity. We tell ourselves we will rest later. And this is where burnout quietly begins because we are doing everything from a nervous system that never fully settles. Let me share a personal reflection here about my last Christmas I spent back home in Europe 5 years ago. I remember being in constant motion, traveling, meeting people, rushing from one thing to the other. Even the moments that were meant to be restful felt slightly rushed, slightly pressured. My body gave me a very clear feedback. I got pretty sick, properly bedridden for over a week with an unexplained stomach pain. At the time, it felt very frustrating, like I was missing out, like my body betrayed me. But looking back, it was a very clear lesson in surrender my nervous system gave me. I didn't slow down voluntarily, so my body slowed me down for me. And what I learned wasn't just about rest, it was about listening sooner, about respecting the body's signals before they turn into symptoms. Stillness isn't passive, it's intelligent. One of the biggest misunderstandings about yin yoga and about rest in general, that it's passive, that it's doing nothing. But stillness is not absence, it's presence without distraction. In yin yoga, we are not forcing the nervous system into calm. We are giving it space to reorganize. This is what nervous system flexibility actually means. the ability to move between activation and rest without getting stuck in any of these. This is especially important when life gets busy. Yin Yoga isn't asking you to escape your responsibilities. It's teaching your nervous system resilience to stress. And when practiced with awareness, Yin Yoga becomes a conversation with your nervous system. You learn to notice when effort turns into bracing, when holding becomes gripping, and self care becomes just another form of self abandonment. You learn how to stay with sensations without trying to control them, how to meet discomfort without overriding, and how to rest without collapsing. And slowly, your relationship to stillness changes. It stops feeling unsafe. It starts feeling supportive. I created my self paced online yin yoga course with this in mind, not as another thing to keep up with, but as a resource you can return to when you need grounding, space, and regulation. It's designed to fit into real busy human lives. And if you feel like your nervous system is craving not just stillness, but warmth, sunshine, nature, and immersion, you are also welcome to join me in Thailand for my live teacher trainings. And if you're not ready for a course yet, that's also okay. You can start gently, slowly with my free offerings, my ebook, my trauma awareness webinar, or my yin reset practice. I'm going to share the links to these free offerings in the description because small pauses still matter. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next one.